Hi everybody, it's been a few days. I didn't forget this time. This whole gets dark at 5 thing has really thrown off my schedule, so even though I've meant to come and do a little chat after taking care of my cats over here for the past couple weeks, by the time I realize what time it is and all that, I'm exhausted and I want to go to bed. I'm sure you can see it. The lighting in here is not super flattering, but I think as far as ambiance lighting goes, the lamp, this one lamp I have in here, is a little bit better than the glaring light that will come behind me when I sit here during the day. So nothing, my jacket just strewn on the couch. It's getting cold. It's actually pretty cold tonight. This heater I have here is doing a pretty good job. I just turned it up when I got over here, but I had it on low, and even though it's been like pretty cold all day, it was 28 last night, it's still a solid 60 in here, so that's pretty cool. Love not having to spend $1 million on electric, although I am just noticing right here where my hair is still blonde. That's cool. I can't take my hair too seriously. I mean, beyond the fact that it's neon colors, it is. I kind of keep it this long, not for myself anymore. I haven't had it this long since high school, early high school, freshman year. Freshman year is when I just started chopping it all off, and I had a mohawk for like over a decade. And this is the longest it's been since, like, look at that, look how long that is. It's obscene. And my one thing about my hair is I hate when it's normal colors. I just do not like how it looks. So the deal with my fiance is, if he wants me to have the whole long hair shtick thing, I take care of the daily maintenance of oil and conditioning every shower and deep conditioning every shower and protective hairstyles and blah blah blah. But when it comes to when I straighten my hair, he has to help because I can't see the back of my head, and trying to part my hair. I have blood pressure issues, so when I'm trying to behind me for too long, I get really dizzy. So he helps me with that, but he also helps me with coloring it. And this is only his first time doing it. Not first, it's the second time, and he did a pretty solid job. I did not do such a solid job straightening my hair, especially these bangs, because this takes 2 hours at this point. Ooh. This takes 2 hours at this point, and as I was getting towards the end of it today, I was just kind of over it. And it always turns out differently after I sleep on it for a night anyway, so I figured I'd just let it be. Usually I don't go on camera or take photos or anything the first day I straighten it, because it takes like overnight sleeping on it to settle how I like it, but this is when I had time and motivation. Noticed recently I'm getting more wrinkles and I'm getting a little chubby, but I figure when it comes to your meat suit, I'm trying to learn to not be so harsh on it about the things that I can't really change. Like, my weight fluctuates up to 10 pounds week to week. It's just how it goes. And also, I feel like eating good food that my fiance cooks me every night is more important than being supermodel skinny, because that doesn't serve a purpose for me anymore. Do I miss my jawline? Yes. But I don't know, I feel like there's more things to life than superficial shit like weight. There's a saying out there of, if someone can't change it within 10 seconds, don't point it out. But then there's things about myself that I do take pride in. Like, even though it's not perfect right now, my hair does look pretty cool. Whenever I'm at work, people always compliment me on it, which I still love. I never expect it, because, you know, this this is what's on my head. I just kind of used to it by now. And I think it's because I have a gradient of colors. A lot of people only do one color, and why would I do just one? Although I think next time we redye it, I'm gonna move the blue up higher again because I'm not loving how much pink is there. I want more of the blue, but I digress. I'm also interested if you guys like longer videos or shorter videos when it comes to rambling or anything else. I've tried to look at my analytics, but I realize not a lot of people stay on my videos longer than a couple seconds. Most people tune out after about 5 to 10, so I feel like at this point, about 6 minutes in, is the target audience of who actually would care how long the video is. So do you guys prefer around the 10-minute mark? Because that's kind of what I've been doing. Longer, I don't care. It's whatever. There's been some interesting, I'll call it that, interesting comments on my videos recently, which is another reason why I abstained. If you've been with my channel since like OG, you'll remember I had an incident where some people were being super rude, and I just fed right into it and yelled back on a video, and then they made fun of me more, and then I just stopped making videos for a while. So with people being rude this time, I didn't really want to jump at responding because I felt like, one, they don't need that kind of attention. Two, I don't need to stress myself out like that. So I took a minute, but it's really curious to me. Like, my channel is very clearly, like, even before the ASMR started re-uploading recently, a lot of what I was uploading for the past couple of years was just tarot readings. And it's funny because I was going back through my videos, and a lot of videos are not on my channel technically because I don't do them so much anymore just because, I don't know, didn't seem worth it. But I used to do private tarot readings, and when I say not worth it, it's I don't get enough people wanting my services to warrant advertising my services, if you know what I mean. Which I have pretty good rates. $50 flat out gets you a general reading that can range from anywhere from half hour to an hour, depending what comes out. For shorter card pulls, where you just like quick something, $20 for like a 5-10 minute video. 5-10 minute video. My rates weren't super horrible, but not a lot of people want readings, I guess. That's a lie. I do a lot of trade readings with people these days. Like if one of my friends has a question, I'll pull some cards for them, and then I have a question and they pull cards for me back. That's more what I do these days. But I do definitely believe in energy exchange, so I don't really like doing them for nothing, because it does take energy, you know, and I'm sure most people who don't read tarot won't know that, but anyone who does read tarot does know that. It does take energy to do. I digress. This I told you ADHD is fun. But a lot of what was on this channel is tarot, so I am really confused where people are coming at me with Jesus wants to save me. Now it's confusing on that level, but it's also confusing on the level of I have come out and said that in my tarot reading, in my metaphysical work, I work with what I consider all the Ascended Masters. I guess it's what you'd call omnitheist, where no one religion has the all divine end all be all truth, but there's a little bit of truth in every single one. And just going with that. Pizza, I love you. Please don't knock my phone over. Thank you. So, in that vein, I do work with what's considered Christ energy. I don't say it a lot because I feel like, especially where I live, Jesus and the Bible has been super misconstrued. If you read the closer to original translations, if you read translations in anything but English, a lot of the more hateful things that you'll find in the Bible are not there. Also, like, if you just ever sit down and read a Bible cover to cover, there's some questionable stuff in there. So maybe don't take a couple 1,000-year-old book as, you know, I digress. The OG Jesus, who basically boiled down to love one another, take care of your sick, take care of the elderly, take care of the infirm, take care of each other, don't kill each other, don't hate on anybody for no reason, hung out with hookers, was against big government, basically. If you look at it, because he was killed via capital punishment. That's what that was. So if you get back to the original stuff in there, and not the King James, which I could give a dissertation on, but the truncated version is the King James edition, is propaganda that was put out by the monarchy with purposeful mistranslations to control their people. But like I was saying, the OG Jesus that's in there, that's love thy neighbor, don't be shitty to each other, super cool, love that. Don't have any problem with that, which is why, like I said, I do work with Christ-like energy, but don't come out saying that a lot because I don't really want to be associated with modern day Christians. Some super shitty stuff in there these days. So, but all that being said, I don't know why people come onto my videos and comment stuff about that, like Jesus wants to save you. From what? Whatever you're trying to say is missing the mark. If you have to verbally attack someone to convince them to be part of your faith, I feel like you're missing the point of having a faith. Like, what I believe is all kind of circulates around the thought that we are all just the universe experiencing itself. So even the people who have done me the most wrong are still part of the oneness that is the universe. So I try to, with that in mind, work on not wishing ill on people, which is hard when people are really, really shitty. But it's something that everyone can work on doing, of not just knee-jerk reacting, oh, well, I don't agree with you, so I hope this horrible stuff happens to you. No, I'm trying consciously, and I think it's a good practice, to, when people are crappy like that, just, I hope you find healing. I hope whatever part of you is making you act out gets the healing it needs, because I do, at my core, believe that there's hope and healing for everybody. Even people I never wish to see again, who've done me wrong in ways I won't go into. I do hope that they find healing, because them continuing to be horrible people will only continue to hurt other people around them. Whereas if they find healing and start to do better, I won't benefit from that, but a lot of people will. A lot of people they run into. So, I don't know if I'll post this. I don't really like getting super, what's the word? Like uppity about controversial, that's the word. I don't like touching on controversial topics because I really am just a small channel and the point is kind of to relax. Sekhmet, I love you. You cannot do that. Speaking of religion, even though this is a boy cat, I named him Sekhmet after my matron deity. Goodbye. Which, I mean, makes sense. My matron deity is Sekhmet, often seen as a counterpart to Bastet, both cat goddesses, and I have several cats. But as I was saying, I don't like to get too controversial because at the core what I'm trying to do on this channel is just, I don't know if my videos are so great for relaxing or like sleeping, but I feel like they could be good for, you know, relaxing background. And I did not realize people used ASMR for that until recently. I came across some other channels where the point wasn't explicitly to fall asleep. It was more, it was more so to just chill out. So I try not to get into too many iffy topics, but I felt like, given I've had a lot of comments like that recently, I say a lot, it's been all of 3, but when you only get 10 comments, it's 30%. Pizza pie. Anyway, I felt like it was worth mentioning. Now, that being said, I don't necessarily want to continue speaking on stuff like that because I'm not trying to, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. Like I said, I'm omnitheist. I think there's truth in all of it. But I also think you don't need to go around telling people how you feel about it when it's unsolicited. Now, if people do want to hear me talk a little bit more about all that kind of stuff, my view of like my religion and all that, I'd be more than happy to make a video on it. But I'm also not going to sit here and get preachy if you don't want to hear it, because that being said, I could do without those comments. I'm not going to react to them anymore, but that's the piece I wanted to say on that, is you're not going to save me, and it's very virtue signaling to try and say something that like that to a stranger on the internet. In fact, if you wanted to be a good Christian, you would maybe spend the time you're wasting doing that. Maybe, I don't know, donating your time at a homeless shelter or something of that nature. Doing actual good for the world, not shouting how you're doing good for the world, you know what I mean? But I've gotten preachy enough, I think. So the other thing I could talk about, which is pretty exciting, I think I'm just going to do one long video today, which, like I said, if y'all prefer shorter ones, let me know. My analytics don't tell me very much. But one of my favorite bands has announced they're going back on tour. And so I had a thought that in another video I could kind of deep dive some of their lore and talk about some of the drama they actually I don't know if you've heard about like the iceberg, and like a lot of topics on the internet have like the big iceberg, but they have an iceberg. So I thought that could be fun to talk about. I don't know if I'm going to keep reading out of the astrology books. I don't know if I like my reading voice. And if I was to go and do a video on basics like that I put together research-wise, I definitely want to wait until my life is unpacked, because I do have quite a bit of good reference material that I could boil down into like a digestible video that would be interesting, I think, and I would have notes, but I think that'd be fun. I just don't know if I want to keep reading verbatim out of books. I think that's it. only other thing I think is maybe, yeah, I think that's it, because I have had a couple other random comments on this channel. Sorry, haul, no feet pics. It's just not happening. Super appreciate the effort of putting a little shoe emoji, but not happening. On the flip side, I do appreciate everybody's nice comments I'm still getting. They mean the world to me. And actually, I had someone earlier today, like an hour ago, Sekhmet, please don't knock my phone over. I'm leaning my phone on their cat bed that's shaped like a flamingo. So he's like, what is this? I had someone very nice earlier comment that they really love my voice, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm at 21 minutes. I think that's pretty good. Well, I hope this wasn't too preachy for you. I'll try to make my next one not so preachy. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.